Good morning, students. In today's class, we will discuss Chapter 2 of History. The title of the chapter is Establishment of Company Power. In this chapter, we will talk about how the European trading companies established their powers in India. They came to India as traders initially, but soon they turned into conquerors and occupied a large part of India. Now let's discuss about mercantilism and trade wars. The discovery of sea routes led to trade relations with European countries. Trading companies from Portugal, Holland, England, Denmark set up their trading centers in different parts of India. Items like cloth, silk, spices were sold at high price in Europe, while they were purchased at low price in India. The high profits attracted the European nations towards India. The Portuguese and Danish were expelled by the British. The French and the British became the main traders in the Indian trade. Now let's talk about East India Company. The English East India Company was started by a group of merchants who received a grant from Queen Elizabeth in 1600. The main idea was to carry on trade in the East. In 1612, the first factory was set up at Surat in India. Following this, other factories were set up at Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. Another company which came to India was the French East India Company. In 1664, the French set up their trading centers in India. The French had their headquarters at Puducherry. Other factories were set up at Mahe, Yanam and Karaikal. Both English and French being present in India with a common cause, there was a clash between two big nations which resulted in Carnatic Wars. Now let's discuss about Carnatic Wars. These wars were fought between 1744 and 1763 to control over the coastal strip. As most of the battles were fought in Carnatic and other parts of Tamil Nadu, these wars were called Carnatic Wars. In this war, the French was led by Dupleix, who wanted to occupy Madras in 1746, but Madras was under the control of Anwaruddin, the Nawab of Carnatic. The British appealed to Anwaruddin and he sent an army to fight against the French. The Indian army was defeated. In 1748, the war came to an end and Madras was restored by the British. But in 1749, a war was again fought between the British and the French over the succession of throne in Hyderabad and Carnatic. However, the French were defeated and lost their strength, which gave the British a lead position on the political scene of India. Now let's discuss how the British came into power. The British received permission from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir to carry on trade in India. Thomas Roe visited India and obtained the right to trade and established factories in India. In 1639, the Fort St. George was built in Madras. In 1668, King Charles II of England got the city of Bombay as dowry. In 1781, the British built the Fort William in Calcutta. In 1717, the Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar granted the British the right to trade in Bengal and Bihar on payment of rupees 3000 per annum. That's how the British became powerful. Now let's talk about the famous Battle of Plassey. The East India Company felt that the large fees demanded by the Nawabs and the local rulers to carry on trade was unfair. They also felt that enlargement of the settlements were necessary for the expansion of their trade, which was banned by Nawab. Now, what the company wanted was a puppet ruler who would act in their favor. So they wanted to replace Sirajuddaula, the Nawab of Bengal, with one of his rivals. This angered Nawab and he ordered the company to stop interfering in government's affairs. He also ordered to stop fortification and pay their taxes. After that, the company made alliance with Mir Jafar and armed forces from Madras was sent under the leadership of Robert Clive. Robert Clive defeated Nawab Sirajuddaula in 1757 in the famous Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar, who was appointed as Nawab, gave permission to the British to trade without taxes. Thus, the Battle of Plassey was company's first victory on the Indian soil. Now let's discuss the reasons for the defeat of Sirajuddaula. What were these reasons? The British were superior in all aspects. The Nawab was inexperienced. He was betrayed by his officials. The Nawab did not take help from the French. These were the main reasons for the defeat of Sirajuddaula. The rest of the topics we will discuss in next module. Thank you, students.